on there, and I'm going to try to speak truth to power. I'm going to try to be, there's maybe this one person that watches Glenn Beck every day, who somewhere has in the back of their mind, I wonder if anybody ever considers the fact that there's no God. And they watch the TV show and go, oh yeah, one crazy asshole thinks it. Maybe I'll go with him. I don't know, because I don't believe in trying to change minds. I don't believe in a plan of manipulation. Well, one thing that's happened in the skeptical community, really in the past 5 years, and it really breaks my heart, is there's all these, every kind of skeptical thing you go to, someone stands up and gives some sort of speech about how you should talk to believers, how best to change their minds. And what they say essentially is be condescending. Say things you don't believe. And it turns into this weird kind of lecture on how to pick up girls. It turns into this weird lecture on etiquette. And I believe very strongly that there's nothing more condescending than saying, this is the way you change a believer's mind. And when the other side does it, and I get this shit, believe me, I do a show, people know I'm an atheist, I get piles of DVDs and tracks, I get boxes of letters from children at Jesus camp. Each one individually saying, Dear Mr. Jillette, I'm praying for you. And I get hundreds of those. And I get the little chick tracts, with the groovy drawings on them that say, what to say to an atheist. And what that does is it is worse than the theist or atheist debate, because it does not give the other side their individuality and their humanity. Because you don't know what's going to work to change the other person's mind. And more important than that, you don't know that you're not wrong. And as soon as you have a battle plan, and they're always awful, and the people that give these lectures are always people who could not get laid in a woman's prison with a fistful of pardons. And always given by someone that has none of these skills. I mean, really, if Brad Pitt came out and said, here's how to get people to listen to you, we'd go, A-OK. But if a guy comes out who has no social grace and tells you, well, when someone's talking to you about UFOs, instead of saying that's not true, you should instead say, can you think of any other thing that could explain these lights over the swamp to the drunken guy in the boat? And then you wait till they get the idea. And it's this old Dale Carnegie, how to win friends and influence people, and basically all of that stuff, telling people how to talk to one another, is absolute human-hating bullshit. What we need to do is respect evangelicals, fundamentalists, Scientology. We don't have to respect Scientology. Mormon Scientologists, fuck it. But the other people who are crazy, you've got to respect them enough to just look them in the eye and say, you are wrong. That's wrong, I don't agree with you. And if you're the kind of person that tends to be defensive and receptive and quiet, and you, sorry, and you listen to them a little bit and hear them out and then answer them back, well, that's the way you are. And if you are aggressive, and if you're an asshole, then that's what you should be. And the idea that there is a code, there's a set of magic words that we can memorize and learn that tell us how to treat other people is really, really offensive. And whether that is being done to, this is the way you convince a Christian to question their faith and become an atheist, or whether this is how to get hot chicks into bed, it's the exact same hatred for the person you're talking to. You should not have a system for getting hot chicks into bed. Although if you've got one that works, then you don't have to show it. Because There aren't hot chicks. There are human beings. And there aren't Christians. There are human beings. And our job is to tell the truth as we see it, not to change minds. And I get in these groups all the time with skeptics and with atheists that say, how do we get the word out and change minds? How do we manipulate people? And I always think of the Bob Dylan line, fearing not I become my enemy in the instant that I preached. You don't want to work on manipulating, you want to work on talking. And the difference is so slight, but so important to me. So every single time they talk to me about winning people over, I say, let's not talk about winning people over. Let's just talk about being a little braver and a little more open, and also not hating and being afraid of people that are full-on batshit, bug nutty crazy, like Glenn Beck.